Thank you very much for being here. We're joined by Chief Operating Officer Dominic McKay of Scottish Rugby and Guinness PRO14 board member, and Nathan Bombrys, Managing Director at Glasgow Warriors, as we look ahead to a huge final this weekend at Celtic Park. Dominic, if we start with you with your PRO14 hat on, how far away or long ago was the decision to bring it to Celtic Park, and how pleased are you now that there's a home team involved?
Well, it was a great decision, I think, that came about over a year and a half ago, actually. We spent some time with Glasgow City Council, some time with Celtic Football Club, and put together a brilliant bid, obviously with Nathan and the team here at Glasgow embedded right into that bid. And we put it in front of the board of the PRO14, and unanimously they said they would love to take a final to Celtic Park. It's the first time ever that rugby will be in Celtic Park, so I think today the posts are going up, so that'll be pretty special. And it's a fantastic stadium. And I think what we are particularly proud about from a board of PRO14's perspective is this idea of taking big finals into different destinations. And this will be the first ever PRO14 final in Glasgow. And we're really excited about it because it shows that rugby is growing in new areas, new territories. We created this idea of a destination final, and no better destination in my eyes than Glasgow.
And Nathan, from your own point of view, a year and a half ago, whenever you got the decision that was coming, how big a motivating factor has that been for not just the players on the field, but everybody in behind it as well?
It's an opportunity to showcase the city, and showcase that the fact that Glasgow is becoming a bit of a rugby city. Glasgow prides itself on its commitment to sport, hosting the Commonwealth Games, all the great football events, the Euros coming, but it's also become a rugby city in the last few years in a big way, and this is a great opportunity to showcase that.
You're also coming off the back of two 10,000 crowds for the Edinburgh game here in Scotland, as well as the home semi-final. How much momentum does that give you going into the final, looking to try and push ahead of the 49,000, which will be along the road at Hampden, and how much of it is almost showing the support that is in Glasgow for Glasgow Warriors?
I think as you watch those players run out on the pitch on Friday night, the hairs had to stand up on the back of your neck. I mean, that atmosphere at Scotland in front of 10,000 people was the best we've ever experienced here at this stadium. And then you multiply that by 4 or 5, and just imagine what that's going to look like on Saturday evening in a week's time. It's going to be fantastic.
You have both been working very closely with Celtic. Dominic, to you first. Is it, from your point of view, great to be able to work across different sports, to learn from how they put on big events, big games, and bring some of that into rugby as well? Yeah,
so we've got a good relationship with football. We had a bit of fun bidding for the games out of Hampden last year. So we know the guys really well at the SFA and the SPFL, but also we know Celtic and know Rangers, of course, with the Commonwealth Games being into Ibrox back in 2014. So learning is very important for us in sport. We're not necessarily competing on the field, so why would we want to share some of our off-field experiences? And putting the game into Celtic Park has been a great opportunity for both teams, at Celtic and for Scottish Rugby and PRO14, to learn from each other. What I'm particularly proud of is the number of supporters that were engaged with this game. I mean, it's a testament, I think, to the brand of Glasgow and the brand of rugby in Scotland in general, that so many of those 36,000 that have already been bought have come from Scottish purchasers. So the vast majority will be Scots there at the weekend, which is really exciting, and it's a recognition, I think, that rugby in general is growing across Scotland, and we can probably see that through in Edinburgh at Murrayfield when we're selling out our Scotland games. So whilst Nathan's doing a great job here at Scotland, doing an amazing job selling this place out, rugby just feels like it's in a really great place, and we want to acquire more sort of international content. So getting the PRO14 final into Glasgow was, really, really pleasing.
And Nathan, I believe there was 1,500 tickets sold during the game, during the 80 minutes on Friday night. That shows that the Glasgow Warriors supporters were watching that game and buying into the final. But to Dom's point about the wider support, you won't mind which area of Scotland they're coming from as long as they're supporting Glasgow Warriors on the day.
It's important they're supporting Glasgow Warriors for sure, but we've got people that come all the way up from Highlands, down in the southwest of the country, come off the islands, tell me about their journeys on a regular basis, not just one-off games, to come and support us. So it's a great opportunity for people from all over the country to support us, and yeah, if you want to come from the east as well, you're welcome. And I know a lot of our fans went through to BT Murrayfield to support Edinburgh in their European quarterfinals in the past, and made a great day of it, and hopefully all of Scottish Rugby will get behind us on Saturday.
We've talked about the fact that it's fantastic the Glasgow Warriors have made that final, but making it won't be enough. You'll both be hoping to go one step further and have Callum Gibbons, Ryan Wilson lifting that trophy at the end of the final. But other than the result, the game, Dominic, what does good look like for this weekend as far as Glasgow Warriors and Scottish Rugby are concerned?
Well, I think we want to put on a great event. You know, we want to make sure that our friends from Leinster that come across from Ireland are really well looked after, and they have a great experience in a fantastic city. And the Glasgow people will make them feel very welcome, I'm sure. But great looks like, 40,000 plus coming to Celtic Park for the first time ever, watching a bit of rugby, having a great experience whilst they're there, and leaving with a smile. Now, of course, from a Scottish point of view, we'd love Glasgow to win, but what we really want to do is to make sure that every young person that comes, and there's a lot of young people coming, are going to have an amazing experience, so that they're connected into rugby going forward, whether that's here at Glasgow, through in Edinburgh, or Scotland International. And our big thing as a governing body is to make sure we give an opportunity for everyone to be interested in our sport. So success for me looks like raising the profile of our sport, and no better place to do that this Saturday.